Hey everyone, Cory Muscara here with Mindfulness.com. In this week's newsletter, we're going to talk about letting go. Now, there's a lot to say about letting go, and chances are you've come across an instance in your life where you felt like you needed to develop the ability to let go, or you were trying really hard to let go of something, a situation, a person, an aspect of your life that you were transitioning from. And so it can be easy to view letting go through a circumstantial lens. It's like, okay, this thing is happening. How do I let go of this situation? And instead, I want to talk about letting go and offer the possibility of framing letting go as a quality of mind that we can actually develop over time and have access to on an ongoing basis, regardless of the circumstance. Although, of course, there will always be circumstances and situations and people that will be harder to let go than others. Instead of viewing it as something that we need to adapt to a particular circumstance, what if it were a quality of mind that we just had access to? And the important thing when we consider it through that lens is the recognition that a meditation practice in its most fundamental form is really a practice of moment-to-moment letting go. So if we think about that on the most basic level, right, a simple meditation practice like focusing on the breath. Well, let's look at what we're doing there. We bring our attention to one thing, the breath in this circumstance. Now, just that act of deciding to focus on one thing is a form of renunciation. You have to let go of attending to all of these other things you could be focusing on. Your children for a period of time, things that you want to scroll through on social media, even different thoughts that you might want to explore. Your inbox, all of these things you're choosing not to go into, and therefore do need to practice letting go of in order to fully attend to what is here right now, this breath. And so we engage in the practice. Might start off relatively simply. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And then the mind starts thinking about something else that you might want to explore and do. And so the thoughts go off, and it can feel really seductive, right? Thoughts do have a seductive quality to them. They're sort of enticing us and telling us, no, you should be thinking about this instead, or this would be more interesting to focus on. And so in those moments, we feel perhaps the contraction around that thing, the draw to that thing, and we practice noticing it, releasing, and then coming back to this breath. Inhale, exhale. And in those moments, right, we feel the ease that comes from releasing, and we get to practice what it's like to contract around something, to feel a tense grip that the mind is creating, in this case around a thought, an idea, relaxing that, letting go, and then coming back to this breath. And we might get, a few seconds where we're just with the breath. The mind goes off into something else. We feel that desire to really focus on this, to hold on, practice letting go, and come back to this breath. And if you do that 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, what you're doing is exercising the muscle of letting go. Now, it might not seem the same as letting go of a past relationship or letting go of a version of yourself as you transition into the next stage of growth, because that might feel more emotionally charged. It's like, well, this is different. This is different than letting go of a thought of some random idea that I'm having and coming back to the breath. And yes, it's true. And on another level, the capacity to feel the desire to hold on to something and to release and then come back it's the same mechanism. It's the same muscle. And in the same way that we don't sew our parachute after we've jumped out of a plane, we don't have to get to these massive moments where we're trying to let go of something and then start developing that muscle. It's something that we can do on an ongoing basis that will assist us in those big moments where we need that capacity the most, but will also assist us throughout the day in the more mundane aspects of our life where maybe something happened and then we find ourselves ruminating about that thing and why'd that person say that to me and I should have said this thing differently, and going off in our heads about a past situation that really it's not serving us to think about it anymore. We're just caught in a loop. And so having the ability to let that go and drop into, okay, what's here right now serves us on a day-to-day basis. And then, as I said, in these bigger moments, it will have access to it. So as you continue to maybe deepen a meditation practice, or maybe you're considering starting a meditation practice, one of the benefits you'll get to it, a very significant benefit you'll get from it, is developing a mind that is more able to move fluidly with the twists and turns of your life. That capacity to feel the contraction around something, to hold on deeply, and then to soften around that. And if you're doing this in your meditation practice, you may notice that the mind does get caught in these loops and these thoughts. One thing I encourage you to pay attention to is how the body is responding in those moments. Because most likely, if the mind is gripping around something, the body's going to be gripping as well. It might show up as tension in the shoulders, in the jaw, in the belly, the hands. And if you're not able to release the mind of those thoughts, just practice relaxing the body. The mind might need to take its own time to release, but you can give it space by relaxing the body, creating a relaxed, open presence. Just go, oh, okay, the mind's holding on right now. And eventually it will soften. Back to the breath. And that moment-to-moment process is developing the muscle of letting go. So you can trust that in your day-to-day and trust it to be there for those bigger moments where you most need it. Try this out. If you like this format and you want more ideas like this, different tips related to your meditation practice and just well-being in life, you can join us in the mindfulness.com app. We have short videos like this, 2 to 3 minutes, that you can watch every single day to get a little snippet to really help develop all the different muscles for navigating this very complex and wonderful life. So hope to see you there. Thank you for your practice. Talk to you next week, and take care.